Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Monday here in Melbourne. But let's go up to our friends up in Queensland in particular. And unfortunately, they're in a lockdown at the moment up there in Brisbane. Of course, which unfortunately means they didn't play last weekend in the second semi-final. Of course, that was meant to be this weekend, but of course, that's not going to happen either because the lockdown has extended to Sunday. And, of course, for the defending champions in the Ruby Series, of course, the Carina Leagues Club Tigers, they'll be hoping to play eventually in that second semi-final against the Cougars. And, of course, we've got two very special guests joining us right now to tell us all about it. Thanks both for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us, Will.
No worries. Well, I'll get both of you to introduce yourselves and what position both of you played on the court.
Hi, I'm Sophia, and I play goalkeeper and goal defence on court.
And then I'm Maddie, and I also play goalkeeper, goal defence. So we've got a little defenders duo down here.
Obviously, you're meant to play your second semi-final on the weekend just gone, but obviously you're in lockdown at the moment. Obviously, that's extended to pretty much the day you probably would have played your second semi-final. But how's it been like in lockdown, and what have you been doing to try to prepare for hopefully a second semi-final against the Cougars eventually?
I think getting put into lockdown really does sort of stutter your plans a little. You know, we had this whole program and all these plans that was going to lead us up towards finals. And, you know, we had all the tapering and the deload weeks and all that put in place. So it would be really well set out, which unfortunately hasn't happened. So all of our S&C's hard work gone a little bit to waste. But I think that's one of the great things about this club is that they are so adaptable. We have obviously all got Facebook groups and group chats and pages and everything. So we've all been posting our little workout photos and what we've been doing and all that sort of stuff. And then we actually got emailed a program, like an hour ago or so, with a bunch of different options for things that we can do while in lockdown. So they're giving us the best chance we've got when we can't actually train as a group.
With, I guess, the uncertainty of being going to eventually play that second semi-final, and obviously the Cougars are going to be in the same situation themselves where obviously they're going to have the same problem. I guess how are you going to, prepare once you hopefully get back on the court again?
I think we'll just play it by ear. We're all doing heaps at home to keep fit and everything. And like Matt said, the club's really supportive to all of this, and they send out lots of programs, which is really good. So I think that we just got to keep doing them and just trying our best to do everything we can to be ready.
In the defending champs at the moment in the Ruby Series, you actually done pretty well to defend it so far. You're in the top two, got a chance with that double chance to make it to the grand final. How's it been like throughout the season? And especially, I know that yourselves and Cougars were trying to jostle for that top spot, especially the last 5-6 weeks, and to try to get at least top spot. But how's it been like being the defending champs?
I think it definitely it makes you come into the series with a bit of a target on your back, which, I played in the team last year and the year before. So we're actually back-to-back champions. So I think having that sort of almost a prejudice against your name right from day one, it's we're the team to beat, which I think for us, it didn't ever really phase us. We sort of took that as we've got a massive target on our backs, but let's show them why we deserve it. And they should be scared of us, which I think has been a pretty good way to keep us running so far. Because like you said, it got us to second on the table. So it obviously was a theory that worked. Show everyone why we deserve to be where we are.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Now, very similar to last year where I'm pretty sure it was very similar ladder positions where we were this time last year as well, I think. Cougars top, yourselves were in second again. I guess same situation. Are you liking being, the underdogs in the final series where obviously with the Cougars finishing on top of the ladder?
I think it's really good, because we've versed Cougars twice and we've won one and they've won one. So it's a lot of competition. So I think that it just gives us that extra boost to really want to go out there and win against them. So I think that little bit of pressure really helps us a lot.
I think one thing I've noticed as well this season, particularly compared to previous ones, is that the playing field is so much more even. You know, exactly like Soph said, we won, or I think they won the first time we played them, we won the second. We've lost to teams that they've absolutely smashed, and then the teams that they've had real close games with, we've also killed. So it's so like different, and it's not just like, oh, here's 1, 2, 3, this will be our grand final. You know, I feel like pretty much anyone in that top 4 could get a spot in the final. You know, like it's not as set in stone as it has been in previous years, which for me makes it a lot more exciting anyway, because you never walk into a game thinking, yeah, we got this.
Both you are defenders, which I love. I love defenders because I think they are severely underrated in the public eye. It's always the mid quarters and the attackers. So I always like the defenders because I think they've got the toughest job in the competition and on the court. How have you two worked together in the defensive goal circle?
Well, it's my first year this year, and so I walked into this team and I didn't know any of the girls, but it's been really good. I've really enjoyed it, and I've learned so much from Maddie and Cooley, the other defender, and I think like we all just like communicate so well, and we do it well, which is really good. Yeah, which is good.
Doesn't take a lot of work, does it? I feel like I've noticed it particularly with Cooley. I feel like I talk to you a little bit more, but we don't actually talk to each other. Like on the court, I just sort of look somewhere, and then usually whether it's you or Cooley, you just go where I look at. So it's sort of like we don't really actually talk. But I do know that, you know, we do obviously once we get off court and once we're in the sort of training mode, there's a lot of discussion. And I know every time I'm off, I go and plonk myself behind Soph and just yell at her. So it's all encouraging, I promise.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're trying to better each other. Usually encouraging. But yeah, we are always trying to like better each other. And, you know, after having such a long season and the preseason on top of that, we've really worked out how to work with each player because, you know, all 3 of us play slightly differently, and we've really figured out how to work with each other. So it doesn't really matter who we put out on court. Like, we're going to kill it either way. Well, that's what I found anyway.
So on top of that then, you know, how special is to play on the same end of the court?
For one, I've played in teams where I'm the baby of the group. So Soph gets to be our baby this year. And I feel like having the experience of being yelled at by those older players with a lot more experience, you know, I feel like I took so much out of that and I learned so much from it. So I really love being able to sort of flip that and try and work with people who are younger than me and hopefully try and teach them a few things along the way, and always inevitably end up learning a few new things that my old dinosaur brain never would have thought of. But I found that really helpful because, you know, as the older player, you're usually the one who's teaching everyone else. But there's definitely many things that the younger girls have taught me this year. So
yeah, I do agree with you. Like with having the old girls, it's really taught me a lot. And I like am constantly learning new things from them because I've never really been in a team where I'm such the baby, but I like it. It's really good because I just keep learning new things, and yeah, all different tools to put in my toolbox.
Tell us a bit about your coaches.
Love them both. They are so funny. They are just so funny. But yeah, they just bring such a good vibe to training, and it's always when we need to be serious, they just knuckle down and we all put our heads down and we all get the work done. But yeah, I love them so much. They're good. And I learned
exactly that. Oh, sorry, I was going to say they really have figured out the vibe. Like, you know, when exactly that, you know, we rock up to training and every training now has to start with Blessed Day. The little what is it? It's Handmaid's Tale, I think, which Joe, our coach, really got into. So now every training and every game starts with Blessed Day. But, you know, as soon as push comes to shove, we do actually need to switch on and start, you know, actually doing some stuff rather than just messing around. You know, they are really quick to turn and still are able to find that balance of let's have a bit of fun while we're here, but also make sure we're learning and we're continuing to push and better ourselves. So I would agree with that.
So Maddie, you're one of the co-captains on the team this year. So what did that mean to you, and especially to be co-captain with your other captain, which I don't think we've had on the show just yet?
Yeah, so I was vice captain last year and then got a bit of a call up to be a co-captain with 2 other awesome young ladies, which for me, I think being in the team in 2019 and then again in 2020 and then sort of backing it up 2021, I feel like I've really been able to sort of grow. And, 2019, I wasn't a captain at all, then vice captain, now I'm up as a co-captain. I just feel like it's, the more experience I gain, like the more confident I feel to be able to actually be more of a leader rather than just sort of stand in the corner and go, I'll let you guys deal with it. So that's been really special for me, especially seeing, some of the younger girls coming on through and all the range of talent that Tigers has to offer. And then I think having the 2 girls by my side, so Lexi and Em, who I'm not sure who you have or haven't spoken to, but they're just so good at keeping a team spirit. We have such a good vibe. We've got our speaker, his name is Stephen, he comes with us everywhere, and those 2 are always way on top of making sure that we're all in it and having fun and really just making the best of it as both people as well as players. So it's been a bit of an honour.
We'll get back to your speaker called Stephen in just a moment, because I have heard about that. Now, how did both of you get involved in netball, and why did you choose it?
I chose netball because my older sister played it, and so I was always at the courts from when I was a baby, and I've just always loved the game. So yeah, but I started when I was around 7 and I played for under 8s, and then I just kept moving up from there.
Very similar. I started when I was 6, so pipped Soph just by a little bit. But for me, it was either netball or dance, and I have 2 left feet and I trip over things that aren't there. So dance was never really an option. And exactly the same as Soph. I picked it up as a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, whatever I was. And just, rode the wave, kept going.
Now, I know I'm going to ask the most silliest question ever, but what would be some highlights throughout both your netball journey? I've got a feel I know which one Maddie's one would be, but I'll get her to answer it anyway.
I don't remember what I said last time. I did get to represent Australia twice for indoor. That might have been it, which was a massive thing, even though it's indoor and it's a little different to the outdoor scene. Just being able to go over to South Africa and sort of play, even though it's not exactly the same as outdoor, being able to play for your country, there's not a lot that can top that. And then on a outdoor sort of stage, I was a training partner for Queensland in 2019, I want to say, which for me, that was amazing as well, just because the level of coaching that I was exposed to was better than I had ever had, really. So 2 pretty high up there experiences for me.
A little bit the same with me. In 2019, I was a training partner for indoor Queensland as well, and we got a call one day and it was from Western Australia, and so one of their players was injured, and so they had called Queensland to get them to fill in the spot. So I got to represent Western Australia, which is really cool. It was really fun, and it was just it was just an honor, and just having the different dress, not Queensland, it was really cool. And all the girls took me in really well, and it was a really good experience. So that was fun. And then last year I was named in the Queensland squad. Unfortunately I didn't make the team, but that's okay. That just gives me more drive to make it this year. But yeah, that's also been a highlight. And then obviously Rubies, I've just loved every moment of it.
So Sophia, I need to ask you about this WA thing. I'm well aware of it. Now, when you got the call up about, going to play for WA instead of Queensland, how strange was it? And what happened when you were versed against Queensland?
Yeah, so it was really strange at first. I was like, oh, but like I just took the opportunity as it like came. I was just like, yep, I'm gonna go play. Like I'm just gonna go for it. And also my younger sister was in the Queensland team, so she was going anyway. So I was like, let's go, let's both go, let's have a good time. But yeah, it was really good. I loved it. But yeah.
So I have to ask this question then. Who got the bragging rights out of you and your sister?
I'm not sure.
Did WA or Queensland win?
Oh, Queensland won. Yeah. It's okay. Queensland was definitely a lot stronger, but yeah. I was there and I was playing, so I was happy.
And do you still communicate with those girls over in WA?
Yeah, I do actually. Quite a few of them, not the whole team, but some of them, yeah, which is good.
Have you tried to convince them to come play for the Tigers?
I should.
Now, both of you mentioned right at the start what position both of you played on the court, which is my favourite part of the netball court. If you had a preferred position where you love to convince your coaches to put you, where would that be?
I'd go wing attack. I did. Sophia will know I bragged about this for like 2 weeks. I was playing goal defense a couple of weeks back and did a circle feed, goal assist. It was a highlight of my year so far, if I do say so myself. So yeah, I've attempted like 3 since then, and none of them have worked. I reckon with a bit of training, I could pull off wing attack.
Yes.
I reckon centre for me.
Centre. Ooh.
Yeah, I reckon I just love the freedom that it has. I just running around the court.
Fitter than I am, so.
Lots of hard work.
Now, what does the sport of netball mean to both you, especially being at the Carina Leagues Club Tigers?
It's second family for me.
Oh, yeah. So. You go first. I'll follow you. That's awesome. Love you.
Like I said, it's second family. I just love it. It's my whole life is revolved around my sport. And it gives me something to do, keeps me fit. I've had so many friendships from it. And yeah, second family.
I feel like I don't have much to add to that. I really do find that maybe it's just a Tigers thing, I don't know, but we tend to become friends off court. You know, like we have the amount of times we're out, usually drinking, so we have to send our babies home before we go too crazy. But, you know, like one of the girls had an 18th, so we all went out for lunch together, and we'd go out for lunch before or after a game. And, you know, we do a thing at training where it's like, all right, blessed day, how are we today? And we sort of go around in a circle, and it's, how was your day? How was your day? And we all sort of really become more like friends and family rather than just girls that we play with, which, yeah, for me means the world, because I've got so many connections through netball that I never intend on losing. And yeah, so it just becomes like a safe space, really. Doesn't matter what you've had to go through during the day, whether you've had the worst day of your life or something awesome's happened, like you can always know that you can come to training and either share it with your team or use them to help get out of your own head. So it's something I'm really grateful for.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, I'm assuming both you're from the same or maybe the different netball association or clubs. You might as well give your local netball association or clubs a bit of a shout out. And have you ever gone back there to help out in any way?
I'm a Metro girl. I think you're Redlands?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do know my stuff. So I'm a Metro girl. So I started at Redbacks and then moved on to Beatles when I got a little bit older. And we have to do like community hours through Tigers, which is like a really great chance to sort of go back and see some of the coaches that took you through like your under 13s, under 14s, and just sort of see what's changed and what's the same. And, you know, I coached a team at Beatles for a while, and we would always help out at the rep days, which it's really nice because, you know, as a under 12-year-old, under 13-year-old, we would see these girls in the orange and black, shirts, and it's sort of they're on there. So keeps you humble.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah, like Matt said, I'm a Redlands girl. I've been there since little, yep. And I play at well, I did play at Raiders Netball Club. And yeah, they've always been there for me. And like Matt said, I've always seen the girls in the orange and black come down and help, and I'm like, I want to be one of them. But yeah, it's really good. And just giving back to the like association and clubs, yeah, I love it a lot. It's good.
And what will be your advice to people out there that should get involved in netball, especially down there at Metro and Redlands, once everyone's out of lockdown?
I reckon just work hard, and if you want to make a team, just really push yourself for that, and rewards will come if the effort's there.
It's so worth it. Like, we do conditioning every week, and we all groan and we hate and we argue, but it's something that we do as a group of 10 players plus our training partners, and it's something that, you've got all these people in your life that are there to support you no matter what. So regardless of how much we hate our conditioning, it's bonds and friendships and stuff that will always have your back. So it's well worth the time and the effort that you put into it. So go for it.
Now let's finish off with a couple of lighthearted questions about your teammates. Now, I believe you had a trivia night just in time before lockdown, literally like maybe a couple, I think it was like a day before lockdown. You had the trivia night last Friday.
The day before, I think.
So how did the trivia night go? And did either of you were in a team that won trivia night?
No, my team came third. We were close.
Yeah, I was fifth, but I was an honorary member of Soph's table because they had a cob loaf and I just kept stealing their cob loaf. So I'm going to jump in on their team and say that I came third too. But it was a really good cob loaf. It was yum.
Yeah. Thanks, Mum.
So you really went for Sophia's team, didn't you?
Yes, massively. We had guacamole and chips, which was yum, and we stole sushi from another table. But yeah, Shelley dropped us sushi. Love you, Shell.
Yum.
It was really good. But cob loaf was a highlight of my night.
Oh, I love it. What was the funniest or the craziest thing that happened at trivia night?
I mean, it was Dee's birthday. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Our president of our board had her birthday the same night. So
that's right.
We got a little extra celebration in there, which was nice. It's quite a tame night. Oh, one lady won like 5 lucky dip.
Yeah.
That was someone cheated somewhere.
You had like 6 bottles of wine walking out of the door.
We were like, once, yeah, cool. Twice, oh, lucky. And then she got up to like 5, and my whole table is like 8. No.
Now, I have to ask, I'm sharing, did both of you answer any of the questions? What was the strangest questions that was asked on trivia night?
They were weird.
Yeah.
There was
one. It was one, and it was like a funny name, and it was like, what does this like mean? But it was like a lake, but it was like in a different language, and it was it was crazy.
All the general knowledge questions were not general knowledge. I was like, if I'm supposed to know this, oh God. Like, I honestly don't remember them, but I remember thinking like, I think we got like 3 in that category.
That's not good.
It was not great. Yeah, it's not so general knowledge.
Yeah.
Who had the most embarrassing moment on the court this season, and what was it?
I actually had one. Because it was like really early in the season, and because I've never like, and
I remember this.
I was walking like and for goalkeeper, and I just walked on the court, and she was still on the court, and like Joe was like, come back, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't know what to do. And anyway, and then both me and Cooley had to go off for like till the center pass was like back. So we had no goalkeeper for like, I don't know, 30 seconds, but yeah, that was my
me by myself. That was great.
Sorry about that.
I don't even know. I feel like the only other one that would come up there was my stack the other day. So
Yeah.
Yes, that got mentioned. That got mentioned.
I still maintain it wasn't my fault. I got attacked. But look, we watched back the recording and it didn't look like there was any malicious intent, but it hurt. And I had a beautiful black eye for like 3 days, which it's still kind of there, but we've got a lot of concealer on so you can't see it, which is great. But yeah, otherwise, I don't know. We don't really do embarrassing. We just do funny.
Yeah, we do funny. Cooley did this one thing. I think it was QT, and one of the QT girls like put up like a signal for like reset or something, set play or something. And Cooley goes and does the exact same thing, and everyone's like, "What?" And we like,
I think it was this, wasn't it? So their entire team has just got a hand up with a finger, and then you just see Cooley go like, "Oh God." That was good. I loved that actually. That was a good one, so. That was funny. I forgot about that.
Yes, that one got mentioned as well.
Yep. I think I've got that video saved on my phone actually. Just watch it when I'm sad.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Now, who's the comedian, the best singer, and the best dancer on the team? I've got a feeling Cooley's in one of these answers.
Cooley's the comedian. 100%.
I reckon Ez is the best singer with her Taylor Swift.
Only Taylor Swift, nothing else. And then I feel like none of our team can dance. We're all too much of white girls.
Yeah. We all just kind of like.
We all just sort of like bob like this. That's our whole warm up. Is we just like bob around.
Just kind of get in the beat of the music.
I feel like it'd have to go to Cooley. Cooley's the only one who looks semi good.
Yeah,
she can win too. Yeah.
Now, talking about music. Now I said I was going to get back to this question. Steve, the speaker. Now how did that name come about, and who's the responsible one to bring it in?
Aaron Joyce,
isn't it? Yeah. As he just rocks up to training one day, we were like, someone bring a speaker, and she goes, "Don't worry, guys, I've got Stephen." And we're all like what? And I think it was her brother from memory. Yeah. Her brother, like, instead of saying like, I don't know, like John's speaker, whatever, he was like, well, I wanted to give it a proper name. So Stephen it is, and it stuck.
So now it's Stephen.
It's just Stephen
with every game.
And we get so sad if Stephen doesn't come. Yeah. I think we made Aaron's poor mother drive home and get it one day because Aaron forgot it. No. So we made Kelly drive back to her house and pick it up for us. Thanks, Kelly. That was good fun. Good old Stephen.
Yeah.
Do either of you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
I will always wear a ribbon in my hair whenever I play netball. That's my thing.
I'm the same, and then I'm just, my warm-up has to be the same. I have the same partner, we go to the same spot, she goes first, I go second, we do the same number of everything, but I like the ribbon actually. I've never actually thought of that, but I'm the same. Got to have a ribbon in.
How important is your two particular amazing sponsors, which is the Carina Leagues Club and obviously Franklin's, which is obviously the two sponsors sitting behind me at the moment. How important those two be?
Carina Leagues Club is just top notch. I really don't have a bad thing to say about them. They've supported us for a lot longer than I've been at Tigers. Wade and Stu, our Leagues Club dudes, I don't even know what they do, in charge of the Leagues Club. They are at every game. I think Wade flew to Townsville to watch our Sapphire girls play. They would drive up to Toowoomba. They're never against shouting us a meal, and they're always there for us and have been for so many years. And I really think, you can't underestimate how much their support means to us, because there's a lot of things that we take for granted that I know a lot of other clubs don't get because their sponsors aren't as up there. And then I personally haven't really had much to do with Franklin, but I know one of the other girls used them to redo her home, and absolutely loved them. And the publicity and the support we get from Franklin is amazing as well. There always seems to have new videos and posts and stuff that sort of give us a shout out on their social platforms. So I think we have a very lucky franchise to have 2 awesome sponsors behind us.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like I said, it's my first year, and like I know Wade and Stewie, like they always come, and it means a lot to us girls. I think that like it really, like we just want to make them proud, and like it really, yeah, it's really good. And Franklin's, I know I've given a few of the like little like voucher things, like 25% off. I've given a few of them to my family, and yeah, they've been very grateful.
Now we'll finish up with this last one. It's a 2-part question. Obviously, we're one of your sponsors as well this year on Smash FM. How special is it to have an interstate sponsor, firstly?
I reckon you really can't underestimate it as well, because obviously HART Sapphire series is a pretty big deal in the netball circles, at least up in Queensland. But, just sort of being able to reach out and both for you to promote us and for us to sort of see the things that are going on down south, I guess, and in other states, it really sort of gives you an appreciation, and you really get to see sort of like insights to all these other clubs from all over Australia and sort of see how we compare and how we differ and how we're similar. So I think interstate is super cool, which I really like, just to know we're getting out there a little more.
Yeah, I think the same. I think like it's something different compared to like our other sponsors, so I think it's really good. And I think it, like Maddie said, like it puts us out there and it puts you out there, and yeah, it's really good promotion.
What's the reaction from yourselves when you heard that we were one of your sponsors?
I thought it was cool because I know you guys were on board with us last year, so when we sort of found out that you were back on board with us again this year, I know I loved doing the interview with you guys last year, so it was sort of not exactly unknown, but a very exciting sort of thing to know that we sort of keep getting these opportunities and just the chance to keep putting things out there. So I had a good experience last year, so I was ready to go again.
Yeah, I think, I didn't know you guys because it's my first year, but I think it's been like really cool. I was like, oh, interstate. I think it's something different. I really like it, which is good.
Well, both of you, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us. Obviously, we have to wait to see what happens with your lockdown, and obviously when you're going to get your next game, which is the important second semi-final against the Cougars. And let's hope it does go ahead in obviously not this weekend, the following weekend, and hopefully, I guess restart your title defence with hopefully with a win against the Cougars in the semi-finals, and obviously hopefully the win in the grand final, whenever that will be.
Fingers crossed, hey?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, Will. It's been amazing.
No worries. And that's Sophia and Maddie there, joins from the Carina Leagues Club Tigers Ruby Series team, because their match against the Cougars will be hopefully be not this weekend, but the following weekend there at Nissan Arena. Of course, we'll put all the details up once it's been confirmed, once they're out of lockdown. There's more on the Smash Sport Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.